I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports Now on this Tuesday, April the 14th. As the Major League Baseball season rolls along, a Mets-Phillies series here in the NL East at Citi Field. And yesterday, Jacob deGrom for the Mets shut down the Phillies offense, which right now is not a very difficult thing to do. The Phillies offense profiles as one of, if not the worst in baseball. And when you bring up the struggles, everyone loves to go to the fact that Ryan Howard is an anchor holding the Phillies down. $25 million a year. Can't even hit his weight basically anymore. Certainly not close to the player he once was. Ryan Howard's days as an impact player are over. He gets the brunt of the criticism from Philadelphia Phillies fans. But if you look about 45 feet to his right, the Phillies may have another major problem on their hands as we move forward throughout this season. That would be Chase Utley, the golden boy, the one everyone loves from the Philadelphia Phillies. And I love Chase Utley. I mean, I've loved watching him play. To me, at his best, he was a Hall of Fame second baseman, one of the great hitting second basemen, and he was good defensively in the history of baseball. He was that good. 2005 to 2009, no second baseman, I think, in my lifetime has ever hit like that, maybe with the exception of Robinson Cano, what he did with the Yankees and now the Mariners. A great, great, great player. But those days look to be over. And as bad as the Ryan Howard contract has been for the Phillies, as much as he has held this baseball team down, we're getting to a point here where you have to start wondering, is Chase Utley done as well? Now look, the beginning of last season, the first 2 months, Utley was so good that it really masked what his his ending of the year statistics actually were. He made the All-Star team last year. So if you just look at a broad sense, you say, Chase Utley was pretty good last year. Not, he was not as good as he was when he was young, which is understandable, but he was pretty good. But if you look at the way the numbers broke down, the first 2 months of the season, Utley hit like the old Chase Utley, hit like the Utley of old, a young Chase Utley. The last 4 months, from June 1st on, he was awful at the dish, looked like a very old and very lethargic player, and that is carried over here into the 2015 season. Made an error on Monday in the field. His feet look slow. He does not look right defensively. And then at the dish, hitting .091. When you add the numbers together, Chase Utley has a .642 OPS since the beginning of last June. Ryan Howard, for as bad as he was last year, had a .690 OPS. So we could get on Howard and how bad he was, one of the worst offensive players in all of baseball last year, and should not be in the cleanup spot for the Phillies. Utley has been worse offensively. He should not be in the third spot for the Phillies. And because of Ruben Amaro, the general manager of the team, and the way he gave out contracts, we know what Howard's situation is. They have to pay maybe 50 of the 60 million left to get anyone to take him off of their hands. The Utley scenario is quickly becoming almost as big of an albatross because he has easily attainable options that if he just stays on the field, gets his 500 at-bats, another $15 million vests for the next season. So the Phillies may be dealing with Utley and his rapid decline here quickly. And yes, he's not the same player, and he hasn't been even in the last few years, but most of his issues 2, 3, 4 years ago were about injuries. Utley's fine, injury-wise. Now, he's not missing games. He's on the field the last 2 seasons, really. Outside of an oblique in 2013, Utley has been out there, and he continues to be out there, continues to hit 3 for the Phillies, and continues to hold this offense back. And you look at the history of second baseman, Roberto Alomar from the Mets, the one that pops into my head right away as second baseman, that when they lost it, they lost it. There's something about that position. I'm not sure why, but usually when you have great second basemen, all of a sudden one day you wake up and boom, it's over. Puff. They can't play anymore. They can't hit anymore. Alomar was a very high-profile scenario of that with the Mets. And we have to start, maybe thinking about the fact that Utley here, at the age of 36, now going on 5 months of bad baseball, it may be over. And if it is, the Phillies don't only have to deal with the Ryan Howard scenario, they may have to deal with the Chase Utley scenario. I'm Joe Giglio for NJ Sports.